Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wingcat Sports, and it's the start of baseball season. Our first weekly breakdown for the Tigers of the year by myself. But next week I should be with my dad doing this. We'll see how the year goes. Expectations for the year, obviously, I think is win the division, probably making the ALCS at least. You've been in the division around twice. Should have probably been ALCS twice. Um, But we'll see how the year goes. Are we going to take it slow? We're going to start slow. We're going to start fast. I'm making this video before the opening day roster is announced, so I don't even know if Kevin McConnell's going to be on the team. It seems like he's trending towards it. I don't know who's going to get the short end of the stick and end up in Triple A. Because there could be someone like Wenzel Perez who ends up in Triple A, which I would not like that, but he hasn't had the greatest spring, so I would understand. But it's kind of where we're sitting at, right? Who's going to be on the roster? Who's not? How's this year going to fully go? Um, right now, your starting opening day roster probably has McConkel at short. I don't know who plays center then. I think Javi deserves to be in the lineup a little bit more. But we'll see what ends up happening. You're starting the year in San Diego. It's the only series I have to talk about currently this week. Before you go out to Arizona next week, and we'll get more into those games later on. But you're starting on the road in warmer weather before we come home and play in the cold weather. San Diego's not a bad team. I think they missed the playoffs last year, but only by a little bit. They're in a tough division over there in the NL West with the Dodgers and the Giants, who played decently last year. On top of, they have the Rockies there, which is not a good team. Diamondbacks have been back and forth. The Padres have been that middle team to be good and not good at the same time. So we'll kind of see where we're sitting at when we play them. You start out the West Coast. It's not bad because, again, it's warm. You're going to come home and then it's going to be cold. And then, yeah, kind of just dealing with a lot of cold. Because you're not going to have another warm game until April when you play in Milwaukee, because that's an indoor stadium. And it does not look like you're going to have another warm game after that till the end of April. So it's going to be cold for the first month. Hopefully the bats can get going and it's not that bad, but it's going to be cold. And that is a big factor when you're playing, because if it's cold, that means, the ball's not going to travel as far. So you're going to have to do a lot more contact hitting. But overall, the first month of the year isn't too bad. You have games against San Diego, Arizona, St. Louis, Minnesota, Miami, Kansas City, Boston, Milwaukee, Cincinnati, and Atlanta. I would say it's a favorable first month compared to how teams were last year. Again, year by year, as you do this stuff, we kind of see where we end up going. But favorable to how you were playing last year and how they played last year. I think your first month is kind of good. I think that your whole season, you play everybody, but I think you have a good mix of good and bad every month to kind of help you get along with the games you're playing. But hopefully, again, we have a good year. Starting rotation: Scooble, Valdez, Flaherty, Verlander, Mize. That would slate Verlander's first game at home on Sunday Night Baseball against the Cardinals. And his first game is a 10-10 game against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And we'll see how it goes. We will 100% see how it goes. So it looks like you're on lefty, lefty, righty, righty, left. Well, lefty, lefty, righty, 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 and then left. So you're on 2 left, 3 right. You're not trying to mix up your left-handed and right-handed pitchers at all, which is interesting, but we'll see how it goes. We'll hopefully see how it goes throughout the year. Maybe they'll switch something up. But again, it's going to be interesting to see how this year goes. You have higher expectations this year. You have higher priorities this year because you should have won the division last year, didn't? You should have been in the LCS last year. You missed it. And it kind of sucks. Looking at injuries, since it's the 22nd, as of yesterday, Torres was scratched from lineup with lower back tightness. I'm just sitting until the start of the year. That's what I'm doing right there. Ideally, he's going to go to minor league camp because he's going to go to AAA this year. Gibson Long is throwing bullpen sessions, so he's getting back to where he should be. Apparently, Jake Rogers needs arbitration. Okay, well, he signed the contract, so he's our backup now. Jackson Jobe is kind of doing better with his injury. He's throwing up from 120 feet 3 times a week, so he's progressing well. Brisky threw okay, so he threw a scoreless inning, so that's good. Sweeney's hurt, so that probably means he's starting in the minor leagues, which is fine by me because I don't like Sweeney. And yeah, nothing really major on the injury front besides Torres being your biggest name on there. Outside of that, though, nothing major. Looking at the roster, let's see. Well, let's go depth chart. See what they're thinking. Let's see what they're thinking on the depth chart at the moment. We already got that. Kind of what we expect. We already talked about that one. Dingler, Rogers as your catchers, no surprise. Torkelson first. Torres at second. Colt Keith at third. And Kevin McGonagall at short. Is what they currently have. This would send Trey Sweeney down, it looks like. Because let's count everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Probably have one more pitcher, so that will get you up to 12. Let's see, Dylan Dingler, Jake Rogers was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, right now they have Wenzel Perez as your starting right fielder. Parker Meadows is your starting center fielder. Riley Green is your starting left fielder, which is no surprise there. Overall, 13 players. If you go with 12 pitchers, that would keep Wenzel Perez on the team, which is fine by me. If McConaughey was able to make the lineup, I would have Javi more in center. As much as it sucks, I don't know how good of a spring Parker Meadows has had. Let's look at those stats real quick. Let's see who's had a better spring training. Preseason, he is batting. Come on, let me see the stats. I want to know how good of a spring he's having. Let's see. Let's see. Career batting, no, they're not really showing me spring training. That sucks. But for the most part, spring wise, it looks like he has gotten 8 hits through 42 at bats, 12 strikeouts, 2 RBIs, 6 base on balls, and 2 doubles. So not the greatest spring, I would say, for him. But we'll see where we end up going with him on the lineup because, again, I more or less trust Wenzel Perez in this case. Wenzel Perez has had 38 at bats, 4 runs, 6 hits, so he hasn't even had a good spring either. So it's kind of up in the air. I guess we'll see how things are going throughout the year. But again, first series against the Padres. Let's start out hot. We'll see where we end up going. If it's not good, it's not good. Hopefully we don't have a slow start to the year. That's been our problem in the past. Hopefully that's not what we deal with this year. If you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the Tiger season. What do you think they're going to be at this year? Until next time, hope to see everybody